right, so welcome to class, everyone. Thanks for finding your mat today, and let's start in child's pose. Hips on your heels and forehead to your mat. So now if you only have one option of being able to get your hips on your heels or your forehead on your mat, you want your forehead on your mat and let your hips just drop towards your heels. So don't try to force your hips back and down. Just find a comfortable spot to really start to take some slow, steady, smooth breaths. Now you could spread your knees out wide, letting your belly spill in between, or you can hug them close together, building a little shelf for the body and belly if you want. Whatever feels more comfortable, right? Maybe arms by your sides, palms facing up, or you could stretch them out long in front of you, palms down. Now, if your arms are long in front of you with your palms down, bend your elbows, lay your forearms completely flat down on your mat, relax your shoulders, and literally just breathe. So Krista, I know you just joined us. We're gonna be on mute for you so that we don't get feedback, but everyone has an option to either leave their camera on or off if you want more personal adjustments. I could see you, I might be able to talk to you a little bit more personal. Totally your call. So now we're here and we're just breathing, and it's a very difficult thing to do, to focus on breathing. And the reason for that is your body is an incredibly beautiful machine. It'll do whatever it takes to survive. And in that vein, what it does is it breathes just deep enough to stay alive because it's a machine, right? Two muscles will work that your mind will never have to think about making work. You actually couldn't even stop them if you tried. And that is, your heart is going to beat and your lungs are going to pull air in and out. You don't have a choice. It's your life force. But like I said, you're only going to breathe deep enough to stay alive unless you focus on it. So maybe for the next hour, you start a little mantra in your mind of, now I am inhaling, now I am exhaling. The more you think about it and stay connected to it mentally, the deeper you'll be able to carry that breath. Because the minute I start to move you here in a second, mind puts the breath right back on autopilot. It's going to worry about what I'm saying, maybe what music's playing, maybe what you look like, or what's happening around you in your space that you're in, right? Try to stay tethered to the breath. Now I'm going to give you guys a little trick. It's a tool. It's called a collective breath. So exhale all your air out, empty your lungs completely. Now take a big, full, deep breath in, hold it all the way at the top. And then exhale with a ha. So that H-A-ha is called a vibrational breath. And what that's going to do is trick your mind into thinking about breathing again by hearing it in your ears, right? It's going to feel it vibrate in your throat and in your chest. If that doesn't connect you to your breath again, come right back here to child's pose. You come back here, you slow everything down, you join back up with us whenever you're ready. So if your arms aren't already stretched out long in front of you, bring them out long in front of you and walk your fingertips all the way up your mat. So now your forearms are going to come off your mat, your wrists are going to come off your mat, your hips are still dropping towards your heels, so you can feel a little stretch on the right and left side of your body. Place some weight into your toes, tuck them underneath you. That's it, push your hips up and then start to move around a little bit. Now, this could be a moving tabletop. It could be a moving down dog, nothing with too much structure just yet, right? So start to wake the body up into moving and feeling a little bit more fluid. So even if you've been up for a while, maybe you were sitting for a little bit, maybe you were just kind of stagnant, right? Get a little movement going. Maybe you wiggle the head a little bit side to side. Maybe you wiggle the hips. Maybe it's a moving down dog. Take stock inside your body by feeling what's happening inside. Easiest way to do that, close your eyes. Closing the eyes takes sight out of the equation. When you lose one of the senses, the other senses pick up the most slack. The one that's going to pick up the most for you is feeling. You'll feel 10 times more what's happening inside your body with your eyes closed. Close them as much as you want throughout class. All right, we're going to clean up our down dog. Everyone come into upper push-up plank position. Let's set the distance between the hands and feet, and we're going to warm the body up. It's a 2-for-1 right here. So walk your wrists more directly under your shoulders. That was it, Miles. That's what you want. You want wrists directly under your shoulders. It's going to help you stack your arm bones on top of one another to make you lighter, as long as you spread your fingers nice and wide and push the floor all the way away. Don't let your shoulder blades touch on your back. Keep pushing up till you can't push up anymore. Yes, Orion is my boyfriend. I love that tag right there. Keep your chin up off your chest. That's exactly what you want to do. When you drop your chin to your chest, you're making it harder to get oxygen into your body. Yes. Open up the throat and breathe. Leave your hands and feet right where they are. Now push your hips all the way up. Let your head drop right between your biceps. Big upside down V. Glance back at your shins first. You want them to look like the number 11 behind you. It's only about 6 inches between your big toes. So your legs, your shins should look like the number 11, nice and straight. Spread your fingers wide so you could feel the webbing between all of your fingers. Now gently roll the weight more forward in your palm by pushing your knuckles more down where your fingers meet your palm. Right? When you roll that weight forward in your hand, it actually helps you activate your wrist muscles, and it's going to keep you from just jamming the base of your palm in your mat, stressing out your wrists. Head nice and heavy. Shake it yes, shake it no. Let it go. Relax your neck. Suck your belly in and push your heart more towards your thighs. Now you could have a slight bend in your knees if you want. That feels good, right? But whatever muscles you're using in your ankles, let them go. Relaxing your ankles will help you stretch the entire backside of your leg from glute to heel. Now breathe. This is an active posture, so your body is still working. It's still warming up. You got to keep feeding it oxygen. Exhale all your air out. Empty the lungs. Take a big breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, glance forward. Just walk to the front of your mat and hang in forward fold. You can hop later. Let's warm up first. Separate the feet, hips distance. If you want to measure it, take 2 fists, put them together, 8 knuckles straight across. Bend the knees if you have to. Put the fists right between your feet and make the capital letter H. That is hips distance. Inhale now to a half lift flat back. Your neck, it's part of your spine. So you're staring at a spot on the floor right underneath you, but you're pushing the crown of your head forward, trying to get nice and long. Suck your belly in and puff out your chest, right? It's going to help you take that curve out of your mid-spine. Feet stay nice and flat on your mat. On an inhale, roll a little bit of weight towards your toes. Help lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Now we'll do it a lot quicker that we have the form down. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Crown, head forward. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Come to standing in your mountain pose. Now root your feet firmly down. They're your foundation. And then squeeze up on your knees and up on the fronts of your thighs. Start to build a nice firm base for yourself. So we got the biceps by the ears. We're sucking the belly in. So think tailbone down, suck the belly up and in. It's going to help keep you from back bending here. So we don't want to back bend yet. We're not trying to poke the butt out, right? We're trying to think tailbone down, belly in for a nice straight spine. Rotate the pinkies in towards one another. It's going to help open up the backside of your lungs by pulling your shoulder blades away from one another on your back. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and breathe. Now maybe close your eyes right here, just while you're standing. And this is a fun thing to do when you close your eyes. You're going to start to feel your body actually sway. That is your body feeling its way through space to keep you from falling over. Balance is a constant negotiation with space. Breathe. The eyes are closed, flutter them open. On an inhale, look up, maybe take a slight back bend. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up into mountain or straight through to a back bend. Now, if you want to back bend deeper, squeeze the butt. It's going to help protect the lower back. Your exhale, you forward fold. This one's all yours. It's called one breath, one movement. Your inhale sweeps you up into your mountain or your back bend. Your exhale is going to let you know when you need to forward fold. Inhale to another half lift. Exhale, your hands are going to go down. Step your feet back and pause right here, upper push-up plank. We're going to set up our flow here in a moment. We move through this a lot during class, so we're going to move a little slower on the first one, but first you're going to find your belly. We're going to do abs all through class in tricky little places, right? So just holding upper push-up, we tend to think, wow, I'm building up all this upper body strength. You are, right? So spread your fingers wide, push the floor away, lift the chin off the chest, but don't forget about the belly. It's not just keeping hips and shoulders in line and dropping the belly down. You gotta suck the belly in. So think tailbone slightly towards your heels. It's gonna help you find your lower belly and breathe. Good, here we go. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, lower halfway down, elbows right by your sides. On your inhale, untuck the toes, tops of the feet go down. The heart and chest comes forward and up. Look for the ceiling up dog. On your exhale, tuck your toes back underneath you. Hips high, heels low, down dog. So that's your flow right there. Anytime you hear me say move through your flow, that is what you are looking for. Upper push-up to lower push-up, up dog to down dog. Exhale all your air out. Take a big full breath in and exhale. On your inhale, glide your right leg halfway up. Keep your thigh nice and parallel to the floor and point your toes towards your own face right now. When you point them towards your face, you want your heel the furthest thing away from you. It's gonna help you squeeze your leg nice and straight. We're gonna help gain some length out of the hip socket that way by trying to stamp our heel on the wall behind you. Now inhale your leg even higher. Exhale, move it any way you want. So you can bend your knee, wiggle your ankles, wiggle the toes if you want. Those are just suggestions. So search for a sensation that feels good in your body. But what you also want to pay attention to is what does not feel good in your body. You notice those things and you change them. Inhale your leg high. Exhale, float it down to the mat. Following inhale, left leg halfway up, thigh parallel to the floor, toes towards the face first, gain a little length, get nice and long, stamp your heel backwards. Inhale even higher now. Exhale any way you want. Now the mind loves to trick you. It tells you you have to do the same thing to equal right and left side out. Does not exist because your body is not symmetrical. So if the same thing doesn't feel good, do something different, right? We tune into the body and what it needs in the moment. Don't tune it out and try to go on autopilot. Stay present with yourself on your mat. Inhale your leg high. Exhale, float it down. On your inhale, glance forward, walk or hop in front of your mat. Separate your feet hips distance. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, sit your hips down and your arms up, chair pose. Sit all the way back and down. Now we tend to swing up the chest and C-curve a little bit. We want to take the C-curve out of our spine. You want a nice straight spine, just tilt it forward on an angle. So think of pointing your tailbone a little bit more towards the heels, or your mat, I should say, because we don't want to tuck under. We want to point it more down to help you find the low belly. Your belly is the front side of your spine. It'll help you take the pressure off your low back. You got to use the belly. Weight stays in the heels and your arms counterbalance you. That's why we want to reach forward and long, no bend in the elbows. The straighter your arms are, the easier it is for you to sit back and down just a little more. Now, instead of the toes floating up, float them down and think of lifting the inner arches of your feet just a hair. When you try to lift those inner arches, it helps you activate the muscles from inner ankle straight up through groin. Now sit a little lower, lift your heart up a little higher. Take a big, full, deep breath in. Stand straight up. Take a back bend if you want one on an inhale. On your exhale, you dive into your forward fold. It'll work. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands go down, hop or step back, move through your flow. On your inhale, glide your right leg up. On your exhale, step it all the way through between your fingers. Walk your toes up between your hands. Spin your back heel down. Inhale up into warrior one. There we go. We stop right here in warrior one. Now we want a really long lunge of a stance to protect the front knee and make sure our knee's over our ankle. The easiest way to tell is if you could see your big toe past your knee. If you can't, walk the toes out till you can, and then look right back up. Now you want to lift the inner arch of your left foot just a hair. Not the whole foot comes up, just the inner arch of your foot. And the more you push that pinky edge side of your foot down, the straighter you're going to squeeze that left leg and make it your power source. So keep pushing your left hip forward as you're trying to pull your right hip back. We're trying to square our hips off under our shoulders Takes a really long time for that to happen because your hips are so tight. So we don't bend the knee just to try to cheat your hip around. The straighter the leg, the more you keep pushing the hip forward, the more you're going to stretch that left side hip open for yourself. Now on an inhale, if you want to reach back, maybe even glance up and back, you do it on your inhale. On your exhale, your hands are going to come down, frame your foot, step your right foot back and move through your flow. On your inhale, left leg glides up. Exhale, steps it all the way through. Walk the toes up, spin the back heel down and inhale up. Warrior one. We peek for the left big toe past the knee. When we see it, we look back up. Now we're lifting the inner arch of the right foot. Think of trying to cut the whole back half of your mat off with your foot, like you slice it right off. Push the right hip forward and pull the left hip back. Now from the waist up, remember mountain pose, right? So don't drop your belly out. So even though we're stretching nice and wide, you got to keep sucking the belly in. Even if the right hip pulls to the back of the room more, you're actually creating more stretch, right? Don't drop your belly out and try to cheat your hip around. Suck the belly in, create more stretch. On an inhale, maybe reach back, maybe glance up and back. Exhale, hands go down, step your foot back and move through your flow. When you get to down dog, take warrior one all on your own, once on each side. One breath, one movement. So I inhale, I move. Exhale, I'm gonna move again, whatever that next movement is. We're gonna do this a couple times during class, these one breath, one movements. And I love to explain why we do it, right? So we do it because we do things together as a community, right? We hold them, we work through them, we learn the posture breakdown of it, and then we get to make it our own by moving at our own pace, which is our own lung capacity. We all have different lung capacities, so we get to move at our own pace, and that's beautiful, making the yoga yours. Yeah, maybe one breath, one movement looks like child's pose. That's just as powerful because you're making a clear choice for yourself. Right? So if you need rest, rest completely in child's pose so that when you work, you're actually working completely, right? You're not hanging on for dear life. You're doing what you need for yourself in the moment. You just keep breathing nice and deep. So wherever you are in movement, you belong there. You keep breathing, you keep moving. Everyone else, exhale, exhale, exhale. Big, full, deep breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, glance forward, walk or hop, front of your mat. Feet get separated, hips distance. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, hips down, arms up, chair pose. This will be your last chair pose. Now, if we were in class, I'd tell you to close your eyes so that no one can tell what you're doing and you're doing whatever you need for yourself. But I'm also going to invite you to close your eyes here. Lift your chin off your chest. You have all the tools you need to sit there if you choose to sit there. It's a choice. But closing your eyes is going to help you internalize your practice. So slow down your breath. The quicker you breathe, the quicker you choke yourself out and the mind gets more reactive. The slower you breathe, instead of reacting, you'll start to act. Those are two different things. The deeper you breathe, the more your mind's going to process information. It's going to help you make a clear choice for yourself instead of just reacting to what's happening in your body. Breathe. If you need rest, you fall to forward fold. If you need work, you have your chair, you have your tools. You get to figure it out. Wherever you are, exhale your air out. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, dive, forward fold. Just let it go. Fall into your forward fold. Take a moment for yourself. Yeah, maybe wiggle your thighs, maybe flutter your lips, right? Relax the muscles in your face. Yeah, you can wiggle your shoulders. That's a good one. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, the hands go down, hop or step back, and then move through your flow. Exhale everything out of your lungs. When you think they're empty, push some more, get rid of that stale air. Now fill up completely, rejuvenate your muscles. And exhale. On your inhale, glide your right leg up. Exhale, step it all the way through between your fingers. Walk the toes up, leave your back heel lifted, all 10 toes face forward. On your inhale, lift just the right arm straight up to the ceiling. We're gonna twist. That's it, nice early twist here. We're gonna wring out the spine a little bit. So the straighter you squeeze your left leg, so we're gonna switch those arms around, Miles. Left hand down, right hand up, Miles. Yes, that's it. Now you have a nice twist happening. Now the straighter your left leg is, the more you bump your left hip up parallel with the right, it's gonna help start to twist the base of your spine. Yeah, now think right knee towards your left shoulder and left shoulder towards your right knee. The more you scissor together, the more twist you create in your spine. Look for the back of your right palm. Take an inhale and try to touch the ceiling. On your exhale, float the right hand down, bring the foot. Spin your left heel down onto your mat. Inhale up into warrior one, then open up into your warrior two. Right arm forward, left arm back. Beautiful. You might have to take a bigger step now to keep your knee over your ankle because we open up the hips, right? It's a good 12 inches you just added. Instead of closing it off, we open up so the knee tends to go more forward. Look for the big toe past the knee. If you got to wiggle the toes out, wiggle them out, wiggle left foot back, whatever works for you. But knee lives over ankle. Hips and shoulders are nice and square. Don't forget your tailbone and your belly, right? We love to drop them out. You got to think tailbone down, belly in, build that straight spine. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears, but keep trying to touch both ends of the room with your fingertips. Don't let the fingers just hang. If they're just hanging out, your shoulders are doing all the work. You're going to burn them out. That's it, Norma. Keep reaching nice and long. Take a big breath in. Try to touch both ends of the room. On your exhale, windmill your hands down to your mat. Step your right foot back and move through your flow. On your inhale, the left leg will glide up. Exhale, step it all the way through between your fingers. Walk your toes up, leave the right heel lifted. On your inhale, just the left arm, straight up to the ceiling. Squeeze the right leg straight again, suck in the belly. Now it's right shoulder, left knee, right shoulder. Really try to wring together. The more you squeeze together there, the more you wring out the mid spine. Reach straight up. Don't let your arm float behind your back. Even though you think it's helping you twist more, it's actually just creating a back bend, and then the spine won't ring there, right? You got to think a straight spine, like a strand of DNA. We're ringing it all the way out through the crown of your head. So look for the back of your left palm. On an inhale, try to touch the ceiling. On your exhale, you float the left hand down. Spin the right heel down. Inhale up. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. We know how to do knee over ankle, back leg strong by now. Tailbone down, belly in. Relax the shoulders and actively reach. Now we have a tendency to focus more on reaching forward. So what happens is, I'm gonna jump up here and even show you guys. What happens is we tend to, when we get in our warrior two, we tend to lean a little bit more forward. Try to reach more back, pulling your shoulders more directly over your hips. It distributes the weight more evenly between your feet. The more you lean forward, the more weight you throw into that front thigh. You're gonna burn that out. Breathe. Nice inhale, get wide. Try to touch both ends of the room. Exhale, windmill the hands, step your foot back and move through your flow. When you get back to your down dog, take it all on your own. One breath, one movement. Warrior one, warrior two, once on each side. If you want to leave the twist in, leave it in. If you feel like taking it out, you take it out. If you're leaving the twist in, remember the leg that steps forward, that's the arm that's going to reach for the ceiling. You breathe and you move, no rush, your pace. And remember, if you get back to down dog and you're waiting for the next thing that we're gonna do, you stay active. We're not just waiting to hear my voice to tell you to do something next. You're in the moment, stay present. And if you need rest, you rest and you breathe. Stay present with yourself. Wherever you are in that movement and breath, you keep going. Everyone else, take a collective breath. Exhale it out. Full breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, glide the right leg up. Exhale, steps it all the way through between your fingers. Walk the toes up. Back heel finds the mat. Inhale up into warrior one. Open up into your warrior two. We pause here on warrior two because the straighter your spine is, the more you're going to feel the stretch on the side of your body here in a moment. So tailbone down, belly in, really straighten your spine. Cement your hips in space. You want to use your belly strength to move your torso, not the hips. Try not to let the hips flip up and down. Stay low in your lunge, flip your right palm up. On your inhale, lean forward, reach up, and then slightly back. Left hand finds your shin or your thigh. Right palm is going to face the wall behind you. Now, the lower you sit in this lunge, the straighter you squeeze your right arm, the more you're going to feel the stretch on your right side rib cage. But avoid just hinging into your left side hip by reaching up and then back, right? So the straighter the arm is, it's nice and heavy, just like chair and a counterbalance to you. What you're really doing is reaching up so that when you let the hand start to reach back, you created so much length on your right side that your heavy arm starts to peel it open more, creating a stretch. So take a big breath in, send that air to the right side rib cage. On your exhale, windmill your hands down to your mat and pause right here. That's it. Left heel pops up off the mat. Now, bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Left arm up to the ceiling. We're going to take another twist. We're going to twist again, but now we have the option of a bind. Now that we're a little bit more open from the other twist. That was it, Orion. You get to drop the left arm behind your back for a half bind. You want to go for that full bind, the right hand goes back under the right thigh, searches for the left fingertips from behind. If you find fingertips, use your left arm more, right? I mean, use your right arm more to roll the left shoulder more open towards the ceiling. That'll work better for you. Take one more breath here. Feel your stretch wherever it is. On your exhale, hands come out. Unravel, frame your foot. Step your right foot back and then move through your flow. Let your breath carry you into warrior two on the left side and you pause right there on your left side, warrior two. And once you hit your warrior two and you're paused there, you're not just waiting again. Start to gain body awareness. Ask yourself questions of what's happening in your body. What's my tailbone doing, right? What's my belly doing? Am I leaning forward already? Do I need to pull my shoulders more with my hips? Ask questions, continue to breathe and feel your body in space. Stay low in your lunge. Flip the left palm up on your inhale. Lean forward, reach up, slightly back. Now, right hand's gonna find your shin or your thigh, never the side of the knee. Left palm facing the wall behind you. We never reach straight back to the wall behind you. You want to reach where the wall and ceiling meet. That helps keep you from just hinging into the right side here. Now, every inhale, think left side ribs forward and up. Create that length. Every exhale, reach up and then slightly back, just a little more. Create that opening. Big breath in, send it to the left side ribs. On your exhale, windmill your hands down, frame your foot first. Once you have it framed, spin the right heel up off the mat. Left hand comes inside the foot, right arm up, side angle. Now, take a breath, push the floor away, try to touch the ceiling. On your exhale, drop the right arm behind your back, half bind. Does not matter what you did on the other side. If you want to go for a full bind here, Miles, that looks awesome. Can you lift your torso up off your thigh a little bit? Yes, that's the difference. I could see the window cracked right underneath your armpit. That is beautiful. The more you lift up and create length, and now use your left arm more, the more the right shoulder is going to roll open for you. You're going to create even deeper twist. You got one more breath. Feel your stretch. On your exhale, hands come out. Frame your foot. Step the foot back and flow. When you hit down dog, one breath, one movement, last one of class. Warrior one, warrior two, reverse your warrior. Now, if you want to leave that little bind in, you leave it in. You want to take it out, you take it out. You breathe and you move. Great place to close your eyes and move. We rely so much on sight for our balance that when you take that sight out of the equation, you start to feel all those wobbles happening in your body. Your mind is figuring out how to take those wobbles out over time. The more you close your eyes, the less you will wobble because your mind will learn. So you give it a chance to learn. Breathe and move. If you find your down dog before the rest of us, breathe. If you're working, you're going to be able to work harder. If you're resting, you're going to recover quicker. We are still sharing a common thread. No matter where you are in the world, we are breathing together. Deep breaths. And wherever you are in your movement, you belong there. You just keep going. Everyone else, empty, empty, empty. Take a big, full, rejuvenating breath in. And then exhale. Bring your knees down to your mat. Come into tabletop. So your knees are directly under your hips. Your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Take a few cat-cows. Inhale, chin up, tailbone up. Your belly's going to drop. Exhale, round your spine deeply. Tuck your chin in. Nice and tight. Use your breath, facilitating stretch. Deeper the inhale, when you drop your belly, the more you're going to stretch it. More complete the exhale, the more space you leave, helping round your spine. So don't forget about the breath here. You have to use it again. It's the most powerful tool you own. We're going to use it. Come back to a flat, neutral spine. Tuck your toes underneath you. Push yourself into down dog. Come to upper push-up plank position. Set your upper push-up. Now, if this feels like a lot, you stay right here. Spread your fingers wide, push your floor away. If it feels a little easy, float the right leg up and hold it there for a moment. Then you get to float the right leg back down. Do the same thing on the other side. Float the left leg up there, hold it for a moment. Float it back down. You got 10 more seconds to work where you need to work. You could keep walking it out. You could bring your knees to your mat to keep your thighs on an angle, build up that upper body strength. You could hold your upper push-up. You got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Push yourself into down dog. That's it. Now bring your knees to your mat, come into tabletop. Good. Take a cat-cow. One cat-cow, nice and deep. Stretch your belly. We just worked it. Take that deep full inhale. Feel the belly nice and stretch out. Then exhale completely and round. Let's come back to a flat neutral spine. Tuck the toes under, push yourself back into your down dog. Upper push-up plank. We're gonna do it again. Now, you wanna walk it out, walk it out. You wanna go even deeper, float the right leg up, hold it there for a second, and then bring right knee to right elbow. Yes, that was it, Stephanie. Then you could do the other side. You could do the left side, but try not to poke the butt up. Keep the hips right in line with shoulders the whole time. So you're using the belly to move the leg up and then back again before you put it down. You got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, tuck the toes, find the bound dog. That's it. Now come back into the tabletop. Untuck the toes. Take a couple cat-cows here. You have earned it. So if you want to add a little bit more movement, you could gently roll your head one way, then the other. You could sway your hips a little side to side. Yeah, maybe take a lion's breath while you're even doing this. That was a good call, Norma. I saw that sneaky lion's breath up there. All right. Tuck the toes under. Find your down dog. Exhale your air. Nice breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, glance forward, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Heel toe your feet together to touch. All right, so toes, heels touch. Squeeze the legs together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, sit your hips down, arms up, palms pressed together in a prayer, Thunderbolt. So don't interlace your fingers together. Push your palms together and cross only your thumbs, right? We're going to use that leverage here in a moment. So you can C-curve your spine. We want to keep our heart above our hips the whole time. So sit a little lower, poke out your butt, then lean back, keep lifting up your heart. Inhale, heart up, and slide your hands to heart center on your exhale. Inhale, lift the heart one more time. On your exhale, keep it nice and high as you twist. Left elbow outside right knee. Hook your elbow over your knee. Then when you have that connection, you got to pull your left knee back in space. Because chances are your left knee, it pulled forward in front of your right. That means your hips shifted and they're stealing your twist. We want the hips nice and square. Knee square means hips are square. Now sit your hips below your heart below your head. Don't let that top elbow drop towards your hip. You got to lift it up towards the ceiling. So you stack your arm bones. It's going to help you use palm into palm and your bottom elbow into your thigh to keep rolling your heart up towards the ceiling. Take one more breath, roll the heart open, look over your right shoulder. On your exhale, come back to center, hips down, heart up, dive, forward fold. Take a second to take a breath. It's a little re-energizing breath. That's why we didn't go straight through to the other side. We want to have that same energy to wring your spine out on the other side. So take a breath, exhale. Nice inhale. And exhale. Here we go. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, hips down, arms up, palms pressed, Thunderbolt. Stay low. We won't be here as long in Thunderbolt. So sit a little lower, lean back, lift up your heart, slide the hands to heart center. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, you twist the other way. That's it. Right elbow, left knee. Pull the right knee back. Don't let the hips steal the twist. It's hips below your heart, because the minute you let your heart go below your hips, you start to round your spine. You're going to lose that ring out. Remember, it's like a strand of DNA. Nice straight spine helps it ring all the way out. We don't collapse anywhere in the spine. Palm into palm, elbow into thigh. Every exhale, your breath leaves just a little bit of space, right? Utilize the space the breath left behind to roll the barrel of your chest up towards the ceiling. Look over your left shoulder, really twist open. Then come back to center, hips down, heart up, dive, forward fold. Take a breath. Good. There it is. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down, hop or step back, and then move through your flow. We're going to have a little fun with some balance next. Empty the lungs. Push, push, push. Big breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, glance forward, walk or hop in front of your mat. Heel toe the feet together to touch. This is going to be balance for everybody because we're going to be able to use our hands and we're going to get to play with balance and get deeper over time. So inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Tent up onto your fingertips. That's it. Kick your right heel straight up towards the ceiling. Standing splits. Now squeeze the left leg nice and straight. It's gonna help you actually stretch your hamstring here. And we square the hips off. Don't let your right hip pop up to the side of the room. Think of pointing it more down to the floor. And if your heel went straight up, it'll point straight behind you, your hip, instead of out to the side. Head hangs nice and heavy. One of the heaviest parts of your body. It's going to help facilitate your stretch. Let the head go. That was it, Norma. Great work. So both legs are nice and straight. Now you want to start to test your balance. Start to walk your hands towards your left ankle. Maybe they're going to meet at your left ankle one day. Right? If they meet at the ankle, think left forearm behind your left calf, palm flat on your almost Achilles tendon or back of calf, and use your left bicep to add more leverage. Keep pulling the head maybe down. Maybe one day face is going to touch the shin, but kick the right heel up. One more time. Float the right leg down. So feet meet. Maybe take a deep knee bend. Maybe wiggle out your thighs. Take a second here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Tent up onto the fingertips. Now the left heel kicks straight up to the ceiling. Now, even if you had to bend your right leg to get the foot down, to get the fingers down, squeeze the right leg nice and straight. Stretch the hamstring. Hips square off. That was it, Orion. Great adjustment. I'm just going to call you Orion because that's a really long tag name. Good work. Drop the head. Left leg nice and straight. So it's not about the heel getting so high that we start to bend the knee. It's about the leg being nice and straight. Let the torso and head drop. It's going to help keep picking that left leg up. And you keep trying to kick the heel up, but we want the leg nice and straight. Every exhale, maybe you can drop a little further. Yeah. Good work. One more kick of the heel up. Drop the weight of the head. Float the left leg down. Take a second, take your moment. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands go down, hop or step back, and move through your flow. Good work, guys. We made it to half pigeon. Let's take a collective breath first. Exhale your air out. Take that body breath in. And exhale. On your inhale, glide your right leg up. On your exhale, step it through to your half pigeon. So your right foot comes toward the left side of your mat, but here's where it gets really important. You want your right knee to come out wider than your right shoulder. That is where your stretch lives. It's not about how far up the foot comes. It's about getting the knee out wider than your shoulder. Left leg long and straight behind you, untuck your left toes. Take an inhale, pull your heart and chest forward. Then on your exhale, slowly start to lower the hands down. Maybe you lower to your forearms. Maybe you lie flat down. That looked awesome, Stephanie. That was great length. So we want to lengthen forward. That's why we kind of crawl forward so that we don't kind of curl into a ball onto our right shin. We create that length. It's going to help us flatten out over time, and we're going to help stretch the hip. Now breathe. Miles, that looks great. If you want to use your left hand to hold the back of your left thigh, yes. And now you get to use your right hand if you want. I tend to push on my knee, the right knee side. Yeah, you'll feel a deeper stretch there, I'm sure. The more you push, yeah, that's it. The more you push, thanks for the thumbs up. The more you push, the more you're going to start to stretch that out. And over time, you'll be able to flip on your belly and use gravity. Breathe, big breaths in. Every time you exhale, when you feel yourself sink a little deeper and get heavier on your mat, it's actually another muscle that your mind lets go of, right? Your mind holds on to muscles subconsciously. It could be your left thigh, right? It could be in your shoulders. The more you exhale and kind of sink deeper, the mind starts to get more comfortable with the moment and starts to let go. It's going to help you actually stretch your hip even deeper. So wherever you are with your breath right now, empty it all away. Full breath in. And exhale. Take about 3 more breaths, right? Your breath, your time. If you feel like you're ready to move now, you move now, right? But when you're ready, that's when your hands are going to come onto your shoulders and you're going to gently push the floor away. Bring your right leg back to meet your left. Now you could either go through a flow right here, or you can go straight to down dog, whatever you think is going to feel better for you. But once you hit your down dog, you don't have to wait here for anybody. You're going to transition into half pigeon on your left side. So what I mean by that is you're not going to wait for my words. You're going to let your breath take you there. So you inhale your leg up when you're ready. You exhale it through. It's going to help your knee, the left knee, come up and out further. And don't forget that next inhale is a big one. When the right leg is straight, take an inhale and pull your heart forward. Then on your exhale, walk the hands out in front of you. Helps you glide past your shin instead of just collapse down on top of it. And then you start to breathe again. Maybe find that mantra again in your mind to help relax your mind and take it off of maybe the intense feeling that's happening in your hip, right? The more you feel that intense feeling and the mind starts to focus on that, the more it's going to want you to shift. And that takes muscle and it's going to hold you up and kind of hinder your stretch. So maybe it's now I am inhaling. Now I am exhaling. Maybe you focus right there and just keep getting deeper and deeper and heavier. Once you move, it'll feel like a really good release in your hips. Empty the breath. Take your breath in and exhale. 3 breaths. Doesn't have to be the same amount you did on the other side. Be honest with yourself and when you feel you need to move. And whenever that is, that's when your hands are going to come onto your shoulders. And that's when you'll push the floor away. The left leg will come back to meet the right. Again, doesn't have to be the same way you did on the other side. So maybe you flow, maybe you don't. We all eventually meet in down dog. There's no rush for you to try to jump into your down dog. Try to picture this next breath happen inside your body by closing your eyes. Now get a visual of your lungs in your mind's eye. See them. Empty them out completely. See it happen. Push, 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 right down to the bottom of them. Now fill them up completely. See that happen. Front to back, side to side, top to bottom. And then exhale. Bring your knees down in your mat and push yourself up to standing on your knees. We're going to do a set of camel. Separate your knees, hips distance. You want to measure it? It's 2 fists right between your knees. It's the same concept there. Hands to the low back, not your butt, right? We don't want to push on the butt, hinge in the low back. We create a bridge by holding the low back and trying to squeeze our elbows closer together. The more you keep trying to touch your elbows behind you, not only do you open up your chest and heart, but you actually create that bridge to help back bend instead of hinge. Seal your lips together, take small sips of air through the nose, keep your eyes open to avoid dizziness. On an inhale, push your hips forward and lift up your heart. Then relax the front of your throat, let your weight of your head just drop back. Even if your hips are directly over your shoulders, but your head feels so heavy and your throat's open, you are in camel. Now, if that feels comfortable and you can continue to breathe, the minute you hold your breath, you went too far. You have to still breathe. If you can still breathe, start to look for the back of the room. Then if you see the back of the room, you want to reach for the heels, you bring your fingers on the inside, thumbs on the outsides of your arches. Yes, Mary. Now don't collapse back. Push your hips forward, lift your heart up, and relax your throat. Let the weight of the head drop even more. Breathe. If the hands are on the heels, bring them back to your lower back, level off your chin. When it levels, sit your hips on your heels. Bring your hands either to your heart center or bring them on your lap, palms facing up. Close your eyes and give yourself a moment right here in hero's pose. Right? Take a breath and think about whatever pops into your mind right now. Flutter your eyes open any way that's comfortable to you. Bring your legs out long in front of you. You could scoot forward on your mat if you want. We'll go forward here in a moment, and then after that, we're gonna roll backwards, and you'll want your head to hit your mat. It'll help you from having to adjust later. So scoot forward, heels at the very top of your mat. Toes, heels touch, flex your toes towards your face. Rock the fleshy part out from underneath your sit bones. Now inhale your arms up above your head. On your exhale, hinge forward at your hips, let the head hang. Like I said, head, one of the heaviest parts of the body. It's gonna help facilitate your stretch here. Let the weight of your head go. Whether this is an active or passive stretch, head's gonna help you. If it's passive, gravity, exhales, and your head will do all the work for you. If you wanna make it a passive stretch and you have reached toes, heels, ankles, whatever it is you're holding on to, relax your shoulders and use your biceps. With every exhale, try to use your biceps to pull the face even closer towards the toes. Lay your hands flat on your mat, dragging your hands on your mat, slowly round up. Stack one vertebra at a time on top of one another. Let your chin level off last. Once your chin levels off, reach straight forward. This is gonna be it for abs right here. Squeeze your belly real tight, then continue that slow roll backwards and down. Touch your tailbone first, touch your head last. Roll down nice and slow. Once your head hits your mat, bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a big hug. You could reach for opposite elbow here. You could roll around front to back, side to side. If you're gonna roll, tuck your chin in slightly. And then grab your feet from the outsides and open up into your happy baby. And this is another one you can play with here, right? You can hang on to the feet, straighten one leg, both legs at the same time. You can continue to roll around. You can have fun with it. And then let the feet go. We'll find your final Savasana. Sprawl open like a starfish, right? You want to heel at least in each corner of your mat. Heels in, toes fall out to the side, arms away from your body, flip your palms up, but you have to close your eyes. It's the only way to actually be in this pose. It's my favorite one to break down because it is a pose. And I never thought of it as a pose. I always thought like, oh, this is the end of class. I just got my ass kicked by my teacher. I had a great workout. What am I going to eat? Who am I going to call, right? Who called me? I wonder what my phone is doing, right? All these things. I didn't get it. It took my teacher training for me to really understand it because we did so much yoga. And then I understood the easiest way to meditate was figured out thousands of years ago. And that is to fatigue the body and then just lie it down. And that's what we did for 57 minutes. We worked really hard to give your mind a chance to let go of your body, if you're lucky enough for that to happen, right? So if your eyes are open, the eyes are a muscle, and you don't have a choice. The mind has to process the images it sees. It has to work. This is the only Sanskrit word I use, Savasana, because it translates to corpse pose. And it means corpse pose because the mind has a chance to actually let go of your body. And it gives you like this fleeting moment of peace. This moment to just breathe and be at one with yourself. So use your breath again. Big breaths in, Let the air fall out of your body. Don't even force it out. Just breathe. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time for yourself, an hour for you to find your mat and to breathe, right? With like-minded people all over the world. And that's beautiful. So thank you guys for being a part of this community. Please continue to help this community grow, right? So beyond the donation, if you guys know Yoga to the People, you know we stand there with a tissue box from day one, right? We just stand there with a tissue box. If you can donate, great. If not, it's just as good. We just love the fact that you come and share your yoga. So we appreciate if you could donate. There's a donate button, but please spread the word, right? Any of your friends, no matter where they live in the world, they can now take a class at Yoga to the People, whether they have $1 or not. Welcomed with open arms, same concept, and we love it, and we love being here. So we genuinely appreciate anything you can donate, because from day one, I've been teaching for a decade for this company. I've always called it love. And I've said, whatever love you guys can put in a tissue box is just that. It's not love for a teacher. It's not love for Yoga to the People. It is love for each other. All the bodies that get to take yoga, all the bodies that get, whether they have that money or not, right? All the people in the room, I would always say, are all the people that get to come to the room. So all the people that get to come to this virtual room are here because of you guys. So spread the word. Let them know we're here. We appreciate you guys. If you want to know more about the postures and definitely know more about yourself, we have teacher trainings online, which is a super cool thing that we're offering now. In these crazy times, we're still finding ways to connect to the community, which is beautiful, and help even give more knowledge to the community. So if you have any questions, you email us. Somebody will always answer an email for you. I'm going to end class with a quote, but I'm going to encourage you right now to maybe take another class today, right? Haven's coming up next. She's amazing. She's the next teacher on. So if you want, right? No limitation on yoga. We have nothing but time right now. So hopefully she'll see some of you guys there. Today's quote, I think, is very fitting for the times we live in. It says, let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. We're going to take one last collective breath. So everyone exhale your air out. Take the biggest, fullest, deepest breath you've taken yet today. Feel your body actually rise. And then exhale. I really encourage you to lie in your Savasana for as long as you like. It was a beautiful thing being a part of this yoga with you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to end the meeting and sign out. Thank you all.